Hi there, it's Patmos. Nice of you to join. Let's go and start with episode 2 of our United States game in the WW1 MOD of Hearts of Iron 4. So, time is rolling and, well, it's preparing our nation again. Well, we were working on the patriotic fever, so we can get doctrine bonuses. We are doing some researches. The reciprocating engine is done. Well, we're done on this tab. Last time we ended this tab as well. Or at least the ones we can do without a ahead of time penalty. And we were starting on our support companies to just get them. So we're going to continue with that, and we're just going to continue with our nation. Now, as you can see, our infrastructure isn't that good, and that is not helping our factories, because factories will work less well if you have lower infrastructure. So we're gonna increase our infrastructure to make sure that they work better, faster, and at least that's how I thought it was. If it's any different, just let me know. But anyway, at some point we're going to increase our infrastructure. There are focuses for that, as you can see here, so we're gonna work on those soon. Right now, we've completed Patriotic Fever, which was down here, and we can go with Massive Effort. We can add an infrastructure, get political power, army experience, and an airbase. So let's go with that for now. We can pick a new law, and we can even go to volunteer only. Well, that looks interesting, but we can also go with early mobilization. That means we will have to use less civilian factories for consumer goods, so more to build up our stuff, and production will go a lot faster of all those things. So let's go to early mobilization. Now let's check. Last time we had 5 complete lines building, and now we almost have 6, which is really good. So yeah, it's worth it, especially in the long run. We have more factories producing new factories. That's beneficial. So, if we look at Europe, we have the Balkan League, Bulgaria joined, Serbia joined, Montenegro joined, and Greece joined. They're now all together. And we have the Ottomans at war with Italy. Well, doesn't seem like Italy's doing a decent job. They're already almost driven out of Africa. So that doesn't look too good, but, well, we'll keep an eye on that. We have researched the Marines. Well, the next is quite ahead of time, so we're not gonna do that. Let's just get into other things to research. For instance, a doctrine. So let's go with that, because we already get a 20% bonus. So let's go with that. Those doctrines are really important. You go through the whole doctrine tree, gives you quite a few good bonuses along the game. So it's probably wise to start a bit early with that, like I'm doing right now. And once you complete the first doctrine, you can go to either one of the 4 others. So a lot of doctrines to research, but there's also a lot of time to do it, so that's not going to be a big problem. And, well, just go for that. So we're gonna also start with our naval doctrine, since, well, we will be relying on our navy for a bit. Basically, in the beginning, we will probably just try to go for Canada and Mexico, and then work our way down into South America. But at some point, probably if we go to war with Canada, we will have to fight the British fleet and the French fleet and perhaps the Italian fleet. So yeah, it's going to be wise to have good naval doctrines and a good navy to actually do those things. So that's what we're going to focus on for a while. Building up our nation. Well, Mr. Diaz is still holding out, which is quite amazing. Wasn't expecting that. However, we can't see anything, so we don't know how strong his troops are, or how weak already, or he's almost going to be caught, but, well, it's still interesting. In the meantime, we already have 1.3 million field guns. And let's put them to use. So let's say we're gonna add artillery to this line. Then we can see, well, that's taken up 1,000. So we need quite a few more guns. Alright, that's done. There's not much more we can do here. We can deploy the troops to the border, but, well, as soon as the revolution ends, we won't be able to continue that one. So we're gonna go with infrastructure now, or we should go with the Navy. This gives us research bonuses on the Navy, and we should get a few good Navy research, ships researched, so that we can start building a strong Navy. So let's go with the Navy first. Our infrastructure can wait a while. Chief of the Air, well, we're not going to be building an Air Force, so don't know why we need that. However, we have infantry, so let's strengthen our infantry. Just have to look at what you do sometimes. And for now, well, we're gonna look at the infantry. Well, we've gained quite a bit of experience again, so let's add the artillery guys. Just like that. And now we can actually see how much more we need. Well, we need quite a few more. But as you can see, production is going well. We even got a new factory while we were just looking. So that's good. As soon as those factories start coming in, a lot of infantry will be starting to build. Or artillery. Infantry we have to train. Can't build infantry. Usually in all those games about the future you have to build your infantry. Like they're all robotic soldiers. Which is interesting because sometimes you have to build infantry and then if you shoot them blood's coming out. War on the Balkans. The Balkan League is at war. Well, we're gonna check that out soon. Guess we're gonna go with the Dada Doctrine. So, it's the Ottomans against the Balkan League, against Italy. Well, they were already at war with Italy. Serbia, Bulgaria. Ooh, interesting. Macedonia. Montenegro and Greece. Alright, interesting. Well, it appears the Ottomans are just gaining already. Does he even have divisions? 5. Well, they should be able to do something against the Ottoman. He isn't that strong. And we need wood. Well, let's trade with Germany. Why am I trading with Germany? I'm going to war with them at some point. Yes. But if we strengthen Germany now, because now we give them a factory, they can use it, then this will help them fight the Allies. So the Allies will get even weaker. Even if Germany wins, not a problem. Going to get him anyway. But if he keeps the Allies occupied, it's easier for us to go to war with Canada and go all the way down to South America without being bothered by the Allies. Since the Germans don't have a good fleet, it's not likely that they will attack us overseas, but we can still attack him overseas. So, yeah, we need to strengthen Germany a bit. I mean, it's not like we're gonna send him troops or anything, but yeah, we can aid him a bit by trading with him, so he gets the extra factories and just get the extra troops and keeps the Allies and Russia busy. If, for instance, in a matter of 1 or 2 years the Germans get completely wiped out, the Allies will be stronger, Russia will be stronger. That's not good for us. That is not to our benefit. Ooh, well, as you can see, it's going quite fast. I think we're gonna go with a few dockyards for our fleets. Oh yeah, let's start building. So, as you can see, artillery is being built quite good now. So this number should start rolling down. And after that, well, there's 4 more being built. So wow, it's like I calculated it, which I didn't. Well, 3 more, so we have one too many will be built. That's fine. Alright, so we can get another guy. Recruitable population, we can go to volunteer only. Well, perhaps then soon we can start training a few units, which could be interesting as well. Guess I want to start training troops quite soon. Although I first need to fill out my artillery units, of course, because, well, not much training to do if you don't have the cannons to train with. Alright. Well, our convoys are coming in quite nicely, which is good. We're going to continue that for a little while until we have actually researched better ships, which we can start doing now. naval gun effort, which is interesting as well. So as soon as we research better ships, well, we're gonna research a better dreadnought now, then we will start building those better ships. Until then, we're not gonna do that. Let's just check. Well, don't really know, so I'm gonna just continue with those convoys. We need them for naval attacks anyway. And then after a little while, we will be starting to build dreadnoughts and other good ships once we have researched them. Ooh, well, there's something happening in Mexico. Guess he's getting weaker and weaker by the minute. And he's getting stronger and stronger by the minute, although he had quite a few men leftovers when the war started. So they're losing quite a few, but he's also out of men, so I think we can check that. Can we? Just by clicking the war, yes. So as you can see, normal Mexico lost quite a few troops. Well, the opposition didn't lose too many, so that's good. Well, we have a doctrine, so let's go with the next one. Interesting. So we need more army experience, but we don't have enough cannons, so we can't start training yet. But we will, don't worry. And we have a fully strengthened division. When I really want to, I could add quite a few more, just an extra line of men, but I'm not gonna do that yet. Ooh, this is going fast. Didn't see that coming. Well, let's build a few extra. Since soon those dreadnoughts must be pumping out, so that's gonna take some time. How long? Well, still a long time to go. Ah, that's fine. Naval gun efforts coming in. Alright, so, well, only like 2 years away from the big war. How's it going here? Well, the Balkan League is actually driving back the Ottomans. And he is losing divisions. He had a few more. So this is looking interesting. This is looking really interesting. Alright, so we have to wait till the 1st of January, which is soon, but let's do an infrastructure effort then. Let's improve our infrastructure. And they have troops caught, so as soon as they just clear out all these pockets, he'll probably lose extra divisions. Not good for him. Ooh, Italy won the war. Alright, so that's opened up this pocket a bit more, but they should be able to just nail them. Interesting, and Italy got Libya. Well, it's not looking good for the Ottomans. Basically not our problem, but... Alright, well, I think we should go with the capital ship guy and then with the artillery. Well, let's do the artillery guy first, because we're going to use our land army probably first. And, well, by that time we can already get the other guy as well. Which is good. It seems he got a few extra divisions, but I don't think so. Well, wonder how it will end. But it doesn't look good for him. It doesn't look good. So, well, why not also get the logistics one, which will save up a few men. And equipment, let's build some extra convoys. I want to get to 1,000. So we have enough, even if ships get destroyed in a war. Probably will lose a few convoys here and there. Let's check, because I want to get better marines. And to get better marines I have to add units. So, that's what we do. Alright, well, I think we're gonna go with army. Army doctrine. 2 doctrines, 1 support company and a ship being researched. I think that's good. It's interesting though. Usually you can do quite a lot of all those researches. I guess at some point I would like it if they put in extra options so that you really have to choose. And if you want to go with navy, then you can get a really strong navy. And if you go with land forces, you get really strong land forces. And that if you focus on one, you will really get behind on the other. And usually right now it's so that you can do both. You can just go with ships, go with land, and just keep everything a bit leveled, so there's not really a big difference with your enemy. And it would be nice, for instance, if you are doing a multiplayer game. As the US, for instance, you focus on a navy, or probably on land troops because you have a lot of manpower. And as the UK, you completely focus on navy, and when you work together, you can still reach your goals. So one is doing the navy bit and creates a really strong navy, and one is creating a really strong army. I think that would be nice. And well, as Germany, you really have to choose. Will you go for a land army and get really strong in land, or focus on a navy? You play the normal game with Germany right now. You can do both. You are behind on navy, but if you just focus on land first and then go with navy, you have already captured everything of Europe and probably Russia, and then you will continue to develop your navy and start building it. So it's interesting. I would like them to add more, so you can't just do everything. But well, that's just my opinion. Maybe you think something different, just let me know. Always curious to know those things. So yeah, just tell me. But yeah, I would like that. More options, so that you really have to choose, and you can't just do it all. Same with the focus tree. Usually in the normal game, you can do pretty much all of the focus tree, except the ones of course where you have to choose, but you can usually do most of it by the end of 43 or... And well, I think you should add more things to it, like this one. This is a big one because it spans a very long time period. But if you have more options and you really have to choose, then you can really make a difference in some areas, and it can really affect your gameplay. Now usually everyone does the same. Like if you're Germany, you just start with building up your industry and then focus on your land army, and if you have time you go with sea. But well, if you have more flavor to it, it can be really interesting. You can get some really interesting gameplays. But I can also understand it's hard for the AI to keep up with that, the more options you give it. So basically that could be the reason they're not doing that, but yeah, I would like to see that. Ooh, so I guess they've beaten up the Ottomans and now they're going against each other. Bulgaria against Serbia, which is stronger, and Montenegro and Greece. Well, I don't think they're gonna make it. And I believe last time the Ottomans joined in. Yeah, they have a non-aggression pact now. Oh, Romania's intervening as well. I guess that means bye-bye Bulgaria. Alright, dockyard expansion, military or construction. Let's go with construction. Let's get a few extra factories rolling. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You have 5 complete lines, so yeah, we can do more. Alrighty. So it's Mr. Huerta, who is now, well, democratic, but he's authoritarian. That's interesting. So we have a democratic dictator or something? Oh, that's interesting to see. And, well, he will probably build a pretty strong army. So, it's not to our benefit. Not going to war anyway yet, but once we do, it'll be interesting to keep an eye on that. It's 1913, so we still can't do any better industry or better weaponry without a head of time penalty. And in the WW1 MOD you don't really need to do something ahead of time. Alright, what should we do? Build some airplanes perhaps. Well, we could use a lot of support equipment since we have to add a lot of more support units to our armies. We need a lot more here, we need a lot more with the Marines, so I guess we can do with support equipment. Let's see. So, peace again. Don't know what really happened, what changed there, but the Mexican opposition declared war on Mexico. Ooh, second war. Now it's the Democrats against Democrats, but one is elected and one is an authoritarian. Okay. Interesting. Well, they're matched. But, well, normal Mexico has the military factories. And still has manpower. Oh, he does as well, so that's not... yeah. So, well, if I had to bet, I would bet on just normal Mexico, because he has the military factories to produce anything, and the other guy doesn't. But we'll see how it ends. Construction efforts coming in. We can do another infrastructure effort, which is good. Come on with the infrastructure, mass production. Well, factories are coming in. That's good. Let's check. Yeah, that's good. So, let's just set up nothing for planes yet. So as soon as this one's filled up, we will be starting to build planes. And we should start training troops, I believe. Yeah. Well, let's start training 5. They have all their equipment, which is good. We'll set up a location somewhere. And, well, let's just start training them. So, 1913 and our first troops are in training. That actually does look good. Ships coming in? Yes. So we can start building... I think we're gonna do 2 production lines with dreadnoughts. One for in the Atlantic Ocean and one for the Pacific Ocean. Guess that'll be smart. So, well, these aren't barely ahead of time. But we're not gonna research them yet. Because, well, at some point... they won't be ahead of time. Let's go with an early fighter. Yeah, I like that. Entrenching battalions is coming in. Making my support battalion stronger. So, should we go with mobile defense, which gives soft attack and lag infantry organization and speed, or static defense, which gives better hard attack and organization and reinforce rate but a lower speed? Well, I want all the speed I can get, so let's go with that. Yep, he's coming in, that's just good. Should probably... should we do? Well, we could already better the infrastructure up to 6 everywhere. I mean, why do we need all the military factories anyway? We can't be producing a lot. Let's just make it 6 everywhere. And then with the other focuses we can get it even higher. And then we can see where we end up and fill out the rest. But a better infrastructure is always good. Faster supply, faster movement. So yeah, we're gonna go with that. Well, we need new factories. Ooh, and we're gonna build ships. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Let's build a dreadnought. And a dreadnought. Alright, well, I'd say it's gonna be built in 2.9 years. That's gonna take a long time. That's not gonna happen. So, we're gonna build one here with a whole new fleet. And, well, let's add those to the Pacific fleet because that's just really small, so we can just add ships to it. And we'll need to trade with the Germans, so they will get a lot of factories from us, but that's just to their benefit. Alright. Well, I was gonna do something, now I just don't know what again. Oh yeah, I was gonna name this fleet the First Pacific Fleet, because probably there will be a second anytime later. For now, let's just build dreadnoughts. Get it going. Alright, and we are still building a few convoys, I believe. Oh yeah, that's good. Well, with those extra ships in, things look really nice. Construction efforts, armaments, 2 dockyards. Let's go with 2 dockyards. We can get a new... Oh, interesting. What should we do? We can get to partial mobilization. I like that. Right, let's go with that. That's fine. That means even... Ooh. Oh, because we traded a lot of factories. We're not building that fast anymore, but Since we have a lot anyway, that's not really an issue. Guess we should start trading with a different nation as well, perhaps Russia. The first flight across the Mediterranean. Well, that's interesting. But not this time. Let's see. Since we are training the infantry divisions, we should probably strengthen those. And add military police, so as soon as they enter war zone, they will start suppressing those partisans. We'll get less resistance, and well, resistance destroys factories, etc. and infrastructure. We don't want that, so we need that military police. I can tell you that we need that. Alright, well, getting close to 200 factories. Interesting. I think we are using quite a lot to trade with. 37. Interesting, interesting. I believed at some point we had 113 civilian factories in use. I wonder where they all went. Dockyard expansion. Very good. Why can we do these? So we have to wait till the 1st of January. Well, let's do an armaments. Let's get an extra factory then. An extra military factory. So, I believe infrastructure is being built. Yeah, and that's going rather quick, which is good. It takes, well, exactly 1 month to build infrastructure, so that's going fast. And I guess after that we'll be just continuing with military factories. Although we also need the research to be done so that we can build extra factories in our states. But so far so good. Everything is looking nice. We have our first division being ready, which is also interesting. Our first 5 divisions we started training are done. That's good. And well, it's almost 1914, so we will get rid of the ahead of time penalty. This is all 1916, this is 1915, so let's not do that yet. Oh, we can better our weapons, so let's start with it. Let's start bettering our weapons. I think that's good. But basically, well, although it's not really exciting happening in our nation, we are actually building up. And well, I think it's good that everyone sees how you do that, how you build up your nation to prepare for something. I know it's not really that exciting, maybe even a bit boring, but well, it has to happen. And well, basically a lot of the times you just see people skipping it, but then you really don't know what they did, so that's why I show it to you. But this is going to be the end of this episode, so I hope you really enjoyed. If you did, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, that's a really big help. That shows your support, and I hope to see you in the next episode when, well, probably Europe will blow up into one big war. See you next time. Bye bye.